The root question is, what do we pay attention to make those decisions? Right? Some people might like colors because as kids, right, the green schools were always the worst. So maybe they don't like green drinks. And maybe I like cool packaging design, like on the vitamin water stuff, or I saw a celebrity, right? Whatever happens to be a salient factor for you, that's what you're using to make this choice. And the internet is so much worse than the real world in almost every way. If you search for Batman on Google, you get 58 million hits. Right? So I need to find out some information on Batman that I don't already know because I'm a huge Batman nerd. And I don't even know where to start at this point. Right? What is going to make me click on a link? It's even worse though, because you still have the location bar and the search bar. So I can search for Green Lantern or Superman or anything else and get 58 million more hits. Or I could just go to a site that I know of, like I don't know, Batman's World. I don't even know if that exists, probably. But the set of choices you have online are, for all intents and purposes, infinite. At any point, you can leave the site you're on and go do something. So figuring out why people do leave or why they do take action on your site is critical. And the underlying mechanism of all this are cognitive heuristics. And that's what essentially the rest of this talk is going to be about. I'm going to go through 6 heuristics and 1 waver irrational. And we're going to look at how they work offline and online and how we can take lessons from that to be better. This is Robert Cialdini. He's a retired professor from Arizona, a social psychologist. He's written a couple of books. The one that I'm drawing for this is called Influence. It's in at least its 5th edition, and he talks about the 6 principles that we're going to look at. And this is the other guy I'm going to talk about. His name is Dan Ariely. He's a behavioral economist at Duke and MIT. I'm always a little unclear where he is at any given time. He wrote Predictably Irrational, and his whole research is about where our heuristics break down and where we do things that are suboptimal because of that. Okay. He's also, I'll give you the information again, he's talking tomorrow. So if you like this talk and want more, here's your name. It makes it sound like I'm the source of this. He's the source of all this, or a lot of this. So go see his talk. So the first principle is called likability. I don't know if you guys like Ryan Reynolds. I've liked him ever since Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place, before they dropped the Pizza Place. But actors and pharmaceutical reps and all kinds of people trade on likability. That's how they do their jobs. Right? The way the heuristic works is when we like people, we do what they want. That's why used car salesmen, while they might seem slimy and unctuous in the extreme, right, the more mild ones are really successful because we tend to like them. And the ones who aren't likable go out of business. Now, online, likability is probably the best study of all of these principles. Pretty sites. I find this site extremely likable because it's just beautiful for me to look at, right? The different fonts and what is that? Other people might differ.
What's awesome?
This, I think, is an extremely likable site because, hey, it's got big text, it's a fun, refreshing, friendly thing to say. The illustration is great, and it's a very non-threatening site. You kind of get drawn into this world where everything's sort of flat colors, and you've got Buddha saying nice stuff to you. Design isn't the only way you can be likable, though. This is the woman who wrote it. She really wants to work in San Francisco, obviously. And she wrote this blog post. If I had a company in San Francisco and needed anybody related to copy, I would hire this woman, because if you read this letter, it is phenomenally engaging. Right? Her personality comes across very clearly, and it's a very likable personality. So we can do it in design, we can do it in copy, and those are things that we've studied for quite a long time. And people talk about this all the time, right? This is the design blog from my company that I don't host to, because I'm not a designer. But they talk about this sort of stuff all the time. Right? So the lesson here is just be likable.